Yo, welcome to Tom's YouTube channel. Let's check out my Clodbuster. So let's take a look at the Clodbuster. Basically, it's a great big, bouncy, cumbersome Tamiya truck. They've been around for years. You can buy them brand new. This particular one, I believe, is an original vintage. It doesn't always mean it's good. There's lots of problems with this particular one. I had to replace most of the electrics. So, one of the things with the Clod is it's all-wheel steering. Out of the box. That is controlled by a central servo which pushes two rods either way, so essentially creating opposing steering. Now the issue being is that the design of that opposing steering isn't that great. Now what I did when I got this was to replace the servo with a new one. I've put a link in the description below. So check that out and see what you think. But basically, it's a cheap servo, but it does the job on this particular car. It doesn't need a lot of power. It just needs more power than the original servo had because it was an old servo. So let's have a closer look. You've got 8 springs all round. They're standard. There's not a huge amount of travel in them. There's no oil in these particular shocks on the standard shocks. You can replace them for oil shocks as well. You've got the big squashy tyres, so it bounces around everywhere. What else? You've got the big bumpers at the front. Like I said, you've got the steering which is all the way around. There's the modifications that you can do to improve that steering, and then I will be doing that in some other videos coming up. You've got two 540 motors, pretty standard motors. Let's have a closer look. I'll bring that up to the camera. As you can see, and they're controlled by a special unit to enable you to control 2 motors. Now the good thing is because you're spreading the power out over 2 motors, you can run up to 4S if you really wanted to. I'm going to run this on 3S with a special ESC. Special ESC and ESC, which is up to 4S. Special. I have made some modifications to this particular one. Like I said, the mechanical ESC had to go. It was beyond repair. And what I've done is I've turned this unit around. Okay, we'll put it on the bench and I'll show you. Okay, so here is the Clodbuster without its body shell on. Like I said, I've turned this around. And the reason being is because with the way that I've modified the servo to get better steering control means that this doesn't fit up the other way around. So let's take a look under here. Okay, so underneath this, which I've just taken off, you can see we have the ESC, which I use my FlySky modified controller with. It gives me up to 6 channels if I like, so the idea with this truck in the future is to add lights and other fancy things, but for now we're only using the 2 channels. So let's take that off. And underneath you can see let's move those cables out of the way. We have, let's try and get the best bit of light on that. We have a 20 kg servo. I'll put a link down in the description below if you're interested. It gives loads more power, but also what I've done is I've actually added a much longer throw arm on that, so the steering is much better. It's still not great, don't get me wrong. I still need to make the modification where you make the arms more level across the whole thing, across the whole truck, giving a better control. I've upgraded the ESC, as you can see, and that enables me to have up to 4S LiPo batteries if I like. To be honest with you, on 3S it's more than enough. At the moment the ESC is just double-sided tape into place. I want to, in the future, I'm going to lengthen these cables and mount it either onto the top of this or underneath. The other idea that I've got is there's some parts that you can get on eBay. You can get like a metal tray that goes across here. You can get metal body mounts. These are already snapped after a previous run. So I'm looking at getting some metal struts that go across there and metal body mounts potentially. Again, I'll keep you guys up to date with those. Okay, so here's the Clodbuster. Just want to show you the range of movement. And that is much better than standard. Trust me. So it's all about, the only problem is that it doesn't really centre very well, so I think the reason is just because the modifications that I need to do that I was talking to you about before, whereby the if we look here, under here, you can just about see it I think on the camera, this steering rod here, you need to turn the steering mechanism around here, so it's the other way up. And then that way, that steering rod would actually be a lot straighter across the lever. So basically, on the same angle as the steering itself. So you would effectively get better steering all the way around. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, either check the links below or check the link here. Also, if you like the products in the video, click the links below. And if you like my t-shirt, check the links below as well. Check you next time.